Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're diving into Outlaw Rider by Jerry Bader today. You guys sent in a whole stack of excerpts.
Oh, yeah.
And from what I've seen,
It's a lot.
yeah, we're going to be talking about jockeys, mobsters, a bit of the mystical even.
Definitely some mystical elements in there.
So should we just, saddle up and see if this book lives up to the hype?
Let's do it. From these excerpts, Bader just throws us right into the world of California horse racing.
Right.
Not just the races themselves, though.
Right.
Like, you get the feeling that he's going to take us to those kind of seedy bars.
Yeah.
The high-stakes betting ring.
The underbelly.
Oh, yeah. Even some whispers about fixed races.
Oh, for sure. For sure. That's what got me really interested too, right? It's not just horses, it's the people
right.
who live in this world.
Yes.
And it seems like Bader has created some characters that are just so interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you've got Jesse James,
Okay.
the super talented young female jockey, but she's got a mysterious past. There's something there.
Right.
And those connections to organized crime make me think she's not just doing this for the love of horses, you know?
I was thinking the same thing. Like there's this darkness that the excerpts hint at.
Oh, yeah.
A potential for ruthlessness, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
That makes you wonder what she's really capable of. and then we've got Mo Fields.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Field.
The hitman who's also a tailor. What a combination. What do you think about him?
It's fascinating, isn't it? Because you have these two totally different worlds.
Right.
You know, he's so precise.
With both.
Yeah, exactly. With his work as a tailor, but
Yeah.
then also capable of just cold violence. There's this one scene
Uh-huh.
where he's talking about fabric swatches
Right.
and he's like threatening this guy.
Got it.
But it's so casual.
Right.
You know, and it makes it even more creepy because he's just so matter of fact about it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It makes you think, like, how can someone compartmentalize like that?
Yeah.
Is it like a survival mechanism or some messed up sense of morality? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or is he just a sociopath?
Yeah.
I think that's one of the questions that Bader's really trying to explore here, and I'm hooked.
Yeah, definitely. And then there's Johnny Luck,
Okay, yeah.
the triad's right-hand man.
Right.
It seems like he's the brains behind all their schemes.
Yeah, the puppet master.
Yeah. I mean, from these excerpts, he just seems like this master manipulator,
Yeah.
you know, always thinking a few steps ahead.
And the excerpts don't really tell us much about what makes him tick,
No,
which makes him even more interesting.
it does.
Is he just driven by greed?
Yeah.
Or is there something more there?
I mean, that's the big question, right?
Totally. And then, well, we've got Danny O'Connor too.
Oh, yeah.
This crooked horse trainer
Totally crook.
who's clearly in over his head.
Yeah, way over his head.
Trina play both sides.
Yep.
And he's basically making himself a target.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, he's like the gambler
Mhm.
who thinks he can beat the system,
Right.
but the house always wins. Right?
Yeah.
Always. So I wonder if Bader's using Danny to show us just how dangerous unchecked ambition can be.
Yeah.
Or maybe there's something more tragic about his story.
Maybe.
I
Yeah.
don't know. We'll see. And then, well, there's Senator Summersby,
Oh, yeah.
another character whose morals are, let's say, flexible.
Yeah, a little flexible.
He's tangled up with the mob,
Uh-huh.
pushing for those off-reservation gaming licenses,
Mm-hmm.
which would probably make him a lot of money.
Yeah, a lot.
It's like he represents the corruption that's just built into this world.
Right.
You know, if even the people in power are compromised,
Yeah.
what hope is there for anyone else? It's a pretty bleak outlook.
It is, yeah.
But I think Bader captures it really well in these excerpts.
Yeah, I agree.
And then, of course, there's the horse at the center of it all, Medicine Hat.
Oh, yeah, Medicine Hat.
He's not just any racehorse.
Yeah.
He's a symbol. Like, he's a spirit horse,
A spirit horse, yeah.
revered by Native American tribes.
Right.
I'm really curious to see how Bader handles this part of the story.
Me too.
It's kind of disturbing to think about this creature,
Yeah.
imbued with cultural and spiritual significance,
Mhm.
being used by the mob and corrupt politicians to make money.
For profit, yeah.
Yeah. It's unsettling.
Totally.
It makes you think, what does Medicine Hat mean to the different characters? Is he a tool for them?
Right.
Or is he a symbol?
Or something else.
Yeah. Or is he something more?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm definitely eager to find out more as we look deeper into these excerpts.
Me too. So let's talk about the plot itself.
Okay.
The Hong Mian triad's scheme to get these off-reservation gaming licenses,
Right.
that seems to be like the backbone of the story.
Uh-huh.
And they're clearly willing to do whatever it takes to get what they want.
Yeah. anything.
Their methods are brutal.
Oh, yeah.
They don't even think twice about using violence and intimidation.
No.
But what really struck me was how casual they are about it all.
I know, right?
It's like they talk about their schemes like they're just business deals.
Yeah, it's like ordering takeout or something.
Right. Like, oh yeah, we'll just kill this guy and rig this race, and it's no big deal.
Totally. It's what makes them so scary, right?
It is. It is.
So ruthless and efficient.
They act with this sense of impunity.
Yeah.
That's both unsettling and fascinating.
Totally agree.
So Jesse James.
Yeah.
She's deep in with the triad, right?
Yeah.
And the excerpts kind of hint at a complicated relationship between her and the organization.
Yeah.
Is she a willing participant?
Mm-hmm.
Or is there more to her story?
Right.
I mean, that's the mystery that's really pulling me in.
Yeah, me too.
The excerpts show us she's smart, she's determined,
Uh-huh.
she can be ruthless,
Oh, sure.
but we don't know what drives her.
Yeah.
Is it ambition? Is it revenge?
Mm-hmm.
Is it a desire to escape her past?
Or all of the above.
Yeah. Maybe it's all of the above. We don't know yet.
Right. And then we have all these other players with their own agendas, like Danny O'Connor,
Right.
who's trying to outsmart the triad, remember?
Desperately.
Desperately, yeah. And Senator Summersby,
Yeah.
caught between his greed and his conscience, maybe?
Maybe.
And then this mysterious Mrs. Murphy.
Oh, right, Mrs.
This wealthy horse owner who seems to be playing by her own rules.
I know, right? Like she's operating outside the system.
Totally.
It's like a chess game.
Yeah.
Where everyone's making moves,
Uh-huh.
but we don't really know who's on whose side.
Yeah, exactly.
The stakes are huge.
Oh, yeah.
You know, people's lives, fortunes.
Right.
It's all on the line.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just when you think you've got it figured out,
you think you know what's going on.
Bader throws in another twist.
Yeah, he does.
Another character. Another layer of complexity.
Oh, another layer to the onion.
Yeah, exactly. And at the center of it all is Medicine Hat.
Medicine Hat, yeah.
A symbol of hope,
Uh-huh.
but also exploitation.
Yeah.
Caught in the middle of all these different forces.
It's powerful imagery.
It is.
And I think it's going to resonate with readers.
I think so, too. I have a feeling this is going to be a really good read.
Me too.
A very rewarding read.
Yeah. And I'm really excited to see how Bader brings all these pieces together.
Uh-huh.
You know, like how do these characters and their motivations
Yeah.
collide, you
Yeah.
know, as they're all chasing power, wealth, maybe even some kind of redemption.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I think this is going to be good.
Mm.
I feel like Bader's built this world that we all kind of recognize.
Yeah.
But it's also unsettling because you see how easily good people,
Mm-hmm.
seemingly good people,
Oh,
can get
okay.
corrupted by power and money.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And he doesn't shy away from the harsh realities of that world either.
Right.
You know, the violence.
Right.
It's sudden, it's shocking, and he describes it.
Vividly.
Yeah, very vividly. But I don't think it's gratuitous. I
Yeah.
think it's there to show us what the stakes are, you know?
Exactly. Like these aren't just theoretical choices.
Oh,
These have real consequences.
For sure. And it's not just physical violence either. There's this emotional violence too.
Yeah.
You know, the betrayal.
Like betrayal of trust.
Yeah, trust, loyalty.
It cuts deep.
Yeah. You know, one of the locations that really stuck out to me was
Yeah.
the Starting Gate Saloon.
Oh, yeah.
That's where we see the machine they use to rig those races and where Ellie Lang,
Right. The waitress.
gets caught in the middle of everything.
Yeah.
That whole scene.
At the starting gate.
Yeah, it's so pivotal, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely.
It's like our introduction to the dark side of this world.
Right.
And it shows us how far these people are willing to go.
To make a buck.
Yeah, exactly. You've got Ellie, who just seems like,
A regular person.
yeah, an innocent bystander just
Yeah.
trying to get by.
Uh-huh.
But she gets pulled into the triad's world.
Through no fault of her own, really.
Yeah, just bad luck.
Yeah.
I think it's a perfect example of how quickly things can go wrong.
In this world.
Yeah, in this world. 1 minute you're pouring drinks.
Yeah.
The next you're caught up in some conspiracy.
That could get you killed.
Exactly, yeah. And it's interesting how Bader uses Ellie
Yeah.
to explore the whole idea of moral compromise. Like, she starts out pretty innocent.
Yeah.
But then the power, the money.
Set up to corrupt her.
Yeah. It's like she gets seduced by it all.
It makes you wonder if she would have made different choices
Yeah.
if she hadn't gotten mixed up with these people.
Right.
You know, is it nature versus nurture?
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
are we all capable of this?
That's a big question.
It is. It is.
And I think Bader's asking it throughout the whole book.
Yeah, I think so too. And it makes you think about your own life, right?
Yeah.
What choices would you make if you were in a tough spot? Are we all good deep down?
Right.
Or can our circumstances change us
Change who we are.
into something we don't even recognize?
Yeah. I really appreciate that Bader's not afraid to tackle these tough questions.
No, he's not.
You know, he uses the characters to make us think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So another location
Yeah.
that really stands out
Yeah.
is Danny O'Connor's house.
Oh, yeah, where Mo Fields pays him a visit.
Pays him a visit is putting it lightly.
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
That scene is so brutal,
It is.
but also kind of funny
It is, yeah.
in a dark way.
I know.
Mo's there to collect a debt,
Uh-huh.
but he ends up like admiring Danny's art collection.
I know. It's such a weird
Then-
mix.
Yeah.
Brutality and refined taste.
Yeah.
It shows that Mo's not just some one-dimensional killer.
Right.
There's more to him.
Yeah.
You know, he can appreciate beauty even while he's capable of terrible things.
I think Bader's saying that even in the darkest places,
Yeah.
there are still glimmers of humanity,
Uh-huh.
moments of grace.
Yeah.
It's that attention to detail
Right.
that makes this book more than just a crime story.
Yeah, I totally agree.
And it's not just the characters.
Right.
It's the way he describes the places.
Yes.
Like that scene at Crystal Beach Racetrack.
Oh, yeah, in Canada.
Yeah. He captures the atmosphere so well.
It's like you're there, feel the cold,
Yeah.
the anticipation of the crowd.
It's like you're right there with Mo and Jesse, racing against time to get Medicine Hat.
And then you've got Nikki the Mushroom Fungo. It adds a whole other layer of intrigue.
Yeah.
Fungo represents this whole network of organized crime.
It's global.
Yeah.
It's not just California.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
He's like a reminder that the triad is huge
Oh.
and powerful.
Mm.
Their influence goes deep.
It's kind of scary when you think about it.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. But that's what makes this book so realistic.
Right.
Bader's not just making stuff up.
Yep.
He's showing us how organized crime works,
Yeah.
how it corrupts people,
Uh-huh.
institutions.
Everything it touches.
Yeah, everything it touches. Speaking of corruption,
Yeah.
Senator Summersby,
Oh, yeah. This
he's in the triad's pocket.
totally.
But I'm not sure it's just about money for him.
Yeah, you're right. Remember that scene at the state diner
Uh-huh.
where Ellie overhears him talking about his legacy?
Yeah,
I think he wants to live his mark on the world.
but he's going about it the wrong way.
Yeah. In a very compromised way.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like, he's convinced himself
Uh-huh.
that he's doing good,
Even though he's not.
but his actions are totally self-serving.
They are, yeah.
And then there's that scene with Ellie at Summersby's house.
Oh, yeah. That one's tough.
It's hard to read.
Mhm.
It shows how far Ellie has fallen.
Yeah.
She's not just an observer anymore.
Right.
She's a participant.
She's part of it.
Yeah, and it's tragic.
Yeah. It really shows how even people with good intentions
Yeah.
can get pulled into this darkness.
Seduced by it.
Yeah, seduced by evil.
Like the classic theme.
It is.
But Bader handles it in a way that's really raw
Yeah,
and disturbing,
Mhm.
but also captivating.
totally agree. And while we're talking about people making bad choices,
Right.
we can't forget about Jesse James.
Yeah, Jesse.
The excerpts don't really tell us whose side she's on.
No, they don't.
Is she really loyal to the triad?
Or is she playing a more dangerous game?
Right.
I mean, that's the central mystery, right?
Yeah, it is. Like, we see how skilled she is, how determined.
Ruthless.
Yeah, ruthless. But we don't know her motivation.
We don't.
Is it ambition? Revenge?
Something else entirely.
Yeah, or something else. And then you've got Mrs. Murphy
Right.
adding another layer to all of this.
Yeah, she's a wild card.
She is rich, powerful.
And she's not afraid of the triad.
No, not at all.
The way she just buys Medicine Hat.
Right, from under them.
Yeah. Shows she means business.
She does. But why? What's her game?
I don't know.
Is she trying to protect the horse?
Mhm.
Or is she just playing her own power game?
Yeah.
And her enforcer, Tony Trufator.
Oh, yeah, he's a scary dude.
He is. That scene where he sabotages Mellow Mac.
Right, the Derby favorite.
Yeah, brutal. It shows that Mrs. Murphy can be just as ruthless as the triad.
Yeah, maybe even more so.
Maybe even more.
It's like a reminder that power
In this world,
Yeah.
comes at a price.
and the people who have it often
Yeah.
have to make tough choices.
Yeah, tough and sometimes bad choices.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's the conflict between the triad
Uh-huh.
And the California Native Peoples Group.
The CNPG.
Yeah. They both want Medicine Hat.
But for different reasons.
Yeah, it seems like the CNPG sees him
Yeah.
as a symbol of their heritage.
Right.
Something that was taken from them.
Stolen.
Yeah.
And they want him back.
They're willing to fight for him.
It's this whole clash of cultures.
Yeah.
A battle for control of something that's sacred.
And then you've got the DNJ.
The DNJ, right?
Disenrolled Native Justice.
They're a whole other wrench in the works.
They are.
They're operating outside the system.
Yeah, and they're not afraid to use violence.
No, not at all.
It's all building up to the Kentucky Derby.
Oh, yeah, the dirt.
Where all these different forces are going to collide.
Right.
The tension is so thick you can cut it with a knife.
And the excerpts end on a cliffhanger.
A huge cliffhanger.
Huge. Like, who's going to end up with Medicine Hat?
Right.
Will the triad get away with their scheme?
What about Jessie?
Yeah, what happens to Jessie?
And Mrs. Murphy?
What's her role in all of this?
So many questions.
I know.
And the excerpts don't give us any answers.
No, but that's what makes you want to read the book.
It does. Bader's a master storyteller.
He is.
He knows how to keep you hooked.
Yeah.
I can't wait to find out what happens.
Me too.
I need to know.
I especially want to know about Medicine Hat.
Yeah.
What happens to him? Does he end up back with the people who revere him as a spirit horse?
Or does the triad get him back?
Or something else entirely?
And what about Jessie? Does she find redemption?
Does she get away from the triad?
Or is she doomed?
Yeah, does she pay the ultimate price?
So many questions.
I know, right?
Oh, wait.
And I don't think the answers are going to be simple.
No.
Bader's created a world.
A world where there are no easy answers.
Yeah.
Where good and bad are all mixed up.
Uh-huh.
And the choices we make
Have consequence.
are being consequence.
Yeah. It's a world that reflects our own in a way.
Yeah, it does. It does.
It's not just a thriller, it's deeper than that.
It's about the human condition.
Yeah.
About the choices we all face
When we're tempted.
when we're faced with adversity.
Right. And when we're drawn to the unknown.
Yeah, I'm definitely adding this book to my reading list.
Me too.
This deep dive has only made me more curious.
I think that's the point.
I need to see how it all ends.
Me too. I'm particularly interested in seeing how Bader handles Medicine Hat's fate.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Will he just be another victim of exploitation?
Or will he be returned to his rightful place?
And what about Jessie?
Yeah, what about Jessie?
Will she find redemption?
Will she escape the triad?
Or is she destined to be consumed by the darkness?
These are great questions.
They are.
And I have a feeling the answers aren't going to be easy.
No, I don't think so either.
Bader's not giving us easy answers.
No.
He's making us think.
Yeah, about the world.
About ourselves.
About the choices we make.
And the consequences we face.
It's what makes Outlaw Rider so compelling.
It's not just entertainment.
It's a reflection of life.
A mirror to our own souls. It's a story that stays with you.
Long after you finish reading it.
Makes you question your own values.
Your own choices.
It's what great literature does.
Absolutely.
It makes you think.
It challenges you.
Makes you uncomfortable.
Sometimes.
But ultimately, it makes you a better person.
I think so, yeah.
This deep dive has been amazing.
It has.
We've gone deep into the world of horse racing.
The dark side.
The dark side, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We've met some incredible characters.
Unforgettable characters.
We've talked about greed, corruption,
identity.
the search for meaning.
Yeah.
And even though we don't have all the answers,
Right.
I feel like we understand the story better
We do.
and the world that Bader has created.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm so glad we did this.
Me too.
And to everyone listening,
Yeah.
we hope this deep dive has piqued your interest in Outlaw Rider.
It's a book that'll make you think.
It'll surprise you.
It'll challenge you.
It'll make you question everything.
And maybe, just maybe,
Yeah.
it'll make you a little bit better.
Happy reading, everyone.
Happy reading. And who knows, maybe we'll revisit this once we've both finished the book.
I like that idea. We can compare notes.
Yeah.
See if our initial impressions were right.
Or if the book took us in a totally different direction.
Until then, keep those pages turning.
And those minds engaged.
We'll see you next time.